Oh, they have a bunch of different Switch. Imagine they're all built roughly the same. Metal cases are awesome. I will say that. I think it's their own proprietary thing. For the keycaps, don't just go for what's more expensive. Actually look at it and pick something that looks good. Yeah, metal cases are awesome. So, for example, this double shot backlit thing will give you, like, the letters will be kind of transparent on the black background, so light will shine through. These ones look like they have print on top. These are etched. I would go with a double shot over an etched any day. Yeah, I would go with these ones if you want, like, the light to shine through. I'm assuming it's backlit. Because I see that little color thing, which I assume is the switches. Looks like it could be fun. Reminds me that I need to buy switches so I can finish building my keyboard. Indeed. Oh, the site? Yeah, you gotta get on, like, all job searching. But it's gonna bug me forever. Yeah, that's rough. I was job searching a year and a half ago. It sucked. Oh, it's funny. I'm sorry. I know, but like, think about every time you talk to an elderly person and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Fix my email. How do you get to your email? I don't know. It usually just works. Because they always need computer repair. Because every time I've talked to someone, we went over this last time. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, not even tech support for him? Oof. That might just be one of their blanket, like, we always need people. So, like, there's a place in town that's always hiring for care. Oh my god. I don't have the patience. I have patience, but I don't have dealing with, like, old people all the time patience. I can deal, sure, what's... So, like, inherently, I don't see anything wrong with that keyboard. It seems just like a fairly standard, decent mechanical keyboard. Metal cases are cool. I have a metal case keyboard that I still need to assemble. So my personal opinion is I would not go with Razer. Um, because Razer quality went downhill like 10 years ago. They started charging more after they built their name and reputation. But the quality of their products is like, and the longevity is kind of like, eh. Um, that's literally what I was going to say. I had a G502. I like the way it feels. I'm on my third one. And they're lasting like 5 years. So I have the Logitech G502. There's also a G502 Hero, which has white. This was my old mouse. It works really well. When I ordered my new one, I checked 5 years. So I'm now back to the black one because this one was cheaper, and I bought the white one because the white one at the time was cheaper. They're basically the same mouse except this one has a braided cable. They also make this in wireless. I just prefer wired things because I went wireless everything, and then the ADHD kicks in, and you just like hyper focus on things, and then the batteries run out, and you're like, poof, all the focus is gone, and you're like, now I gotta wait so I can use my mouse. So I just went back to wired and cable management. So as long as you run your wires in a way that makes sense, like wires are fine. Just don't run your wire super haphazardly, and they're not an issue. Like picking up my mouse messed up my wiring, so now I'm gonna have to redo all that later. Okay, go back there. Go back to your home. Okay, it's better now. I do too, but you have to shove them behind your desk at certain points so that, you know, the push pull whatever from the stuff makes sense. I'm currently redoing my basement and gonna build a desk and stuff down there. And because I'm building the desk, I think I'm gonna build wire management into it. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I would just go with the G502. The only thing I don't like about this mouse, which you can disable if you have their software installed, is this little G9 button by default switches the profile you're on, which can change the DPI of the mouse. But you have, with their software open, you can, you know, disable that. So that's the only thing I don't like about the mouse. Yeah, super. That one looks fine too. The only thing is I like the thumb rest on my mouse. If like if this is the kind of mouse that you like, um, there's nothing wrong with this mouse if you like wireless. But that little button there right below the scroll wheel, you press that and then it disables the friction, the like bumps on the scroll wheel. So you press that and then you just there's two buttons on the side here. I don't know how well you can see that. But there's two buttons on the side of the G502 as well. So like there's button there. This button there is, I never use it, but it lowers your DPI a little bit, so that's not pressing, which is something I've never used, but it would be useful in shooter games. So you've got button there, which I don't use. These buttons here, so to the left of your mouse, these here by your thumb, and then that one which lowers your DPI. Yeah, these two can change DPI, but again, with the software, you can rebind them. By default, that one changes profile, and these change DPI. 1600 DPI is a lot if you're going into shooting games. There's a reason why a lot of people who play a lot of shooting games have very, very big mouse mats, and they're just. It's a lot for like higher level competitive shooting games. But my personal recommendation for mice is go somewhere and physically touch them. Because I didn't buy a mouse until I could touch it, because it's so personal. Like, yes, you can really get used to anything, but some mice just aren't comfortable for you. It could be the most comfortable thing in the world for me and how I use a mouse, but it could be the most uncomfortable mouse you've ever touched. So I highly suggest going to a store where you can actually touch them. But how's it going, Cole? Wait. Speaking of, um, but the thing about that is you lose a lot of micro movement. So with high precision things, oh, I want to go this way. So with high precision things, you want that lower DPI so that, you know, I just can't time things. I'm gonna get hit by this pillar. Or that one. Haha, I made it! But here's the thing. What you're doing is you're working on the flick, right? And the flick becomes your margin of error. Sorry, my mind is moving at like 200 miles a second, and I'm trying to like put it all together into logic, and it's not working because brain's moving too fast for mouth to keep up. So margin of error is how much movement, how much room you have for a mistake. So with a lower DPI, you have a higher margin for error. For example, if you are 1 millimeter off on the trackpad with 4,500 DPI, you're going to completely miss. However, that 1 millimeter off with that 400 DPI or 600 DPI, chances are you're going to hit. So it gives you a larger margin of error and whatnot. Yeah, dealing with the lag's the hardest thing. It allows for more precise control. And something, so you have gone with speed over precision, and that's sort of the difference. So you had to train the precision. Granted, this is all coming from someone who's just looked at the data and doesn't actually play many shooting games. So, like, this is just me speaking from data, not from experience. And from talking to people who do play at, not the highest level, but have reached the, like, the level below, like, the bubble scene. I really need to work on those catches. And flicks. Welcome back, Finesse. Have you ever, or I don't remember if you ever left. I remember you saying you were going to go play something, and I don't remember if you did. I started talking about keyboards. Other stuff. We're going to just score this one. Yeah, I beat the level. I'm the best. But, the people I used to talk to were Call of Duty and Counter-Strike Source. This was before CSGO was a thing. That's where my data comes from. So again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, and that's why I phrase it the way I did. Because I don't have the personal experience with that. And I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying this is what I've heard. No! I was reading chat and I let it get away from me. That's so hard for me to do. I really need to work on those air dribbles. Oh, right. Now I remember why I got into the air dribble gauntlet yesterday. Because I don't have the control I need in the air We'll move that one up. Oh, not the air dribble gauntlet. I wish this actually moved my... Yeah. I like this song. Where the heck did it go? Oh, it is Air Dribble Gauntlet. I am kind of warming up. I do actually sort of have a plan for something I'm doing today. For the first time in like forever, I actually have a plan for stream. That's more than just, I kind of want to like play games. So I'm kind of warming up. I might play some casual. I don't know. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. But in a little bit, I'm going to be playing with a mouse pad. Because I get YouTube Premium for free because I'm on a family plan. So it costs me $0 to use YouTube. My camera's trying to be smart. It's trying to center me. A new cam's on my list of things to get. But also, like, I'm moving. So, like, this is me moving in my chair. But my camera's trying to, like, center me, so as I adjust, it might be, like, shifting. It means I don't get ads in YouTube and stuff, so, like... And I also don't pay for it. So because I don't pay for it, I could pay for Spotify. I don't know anything about mouse pads. Like, I found a very, very specific mouse pad that works for me, and I've had the same one for years and years. I actually can't find it anymore. What's important for me was the wrist rest, because I was developing basically carpal tunnel. And then I got a wrist rest and it kind of went away, so the wrist rest was important for me. And then other than that, I like a smooth, hard, almost smooth, hard plastic. It's mildly textured. This one happens to be from Razer, but it's because I haven't found another one that's worked for me. And that's how long ago I got this. Like, I don't think they even sell the one I use anymore. Oh. Maybe they do. This is the one I have. It's a Razer Vespa V2. This is hard plastic. One side slightly textured, the other side is smooth, and it's got a wrist rest. It's square. This is the mouse pad I have. It's got anti-slip under the whole thing. I have a desk mat as well, but I don't like using that as my mouse pad because this is the one I used to have. And then that one stopped working, and then I got this one. And I do really like this one. I like the wrist rest. I like how the wrist rest kind of like Just because it's anime, I've got to ask, Appa. It's safe for stream, right? Just because you mentioned anime, and I know some of that stuff can get risque. Okay. I'm double checking. Yeah, so I have a mat like that that's sort of like Matrix themed, but I put a mouse pad on top of that. So that's kind of like a pad that all my stuff goes on top of. The only thing that I would confirm for these is that the edges have like thread around them. So with the big mouse mats, it's important that the cheap ones don't have this like thread. I don't know what it's called, but basically they just stitch the outside to prevent it from fraying. The cheap ones don't have that, and the edges sort of peel up over time. That's about all I know. Oh, yeah, these do have it. You see that little, like, just that one line all the way around the edge? That's the only thing I really know about mouse mats, is make sure you have that. The emptiness machine. Yes. Because I got a mouse mat without one before. It was a freebie from like PAX East or something like that. Penny Arcade Expo, video game convention. And it didn't have that, and the edges started to peel, so I got a new one, and it had that, and I've had it twice as long, and the edges are still fine. And the only thing that had issues was the edges. So, like, it's a little thing, but makes a big difference. But my current one is like it's like Matrix themed, so it's got the green text on a black background. Let me see if I can actually find. Y'all got me on side quest. Where did I send it? That's not it. Where did I send it? I don't remember. Not it. Not it. The mustache. I don't remember. I don't know. I'll find it later. I don't remember where I put it. But no, I wanted that and this. My hits are not hitting. There we go. No, front center of the car. Forward. There we go. Kind of. I know you're supposed to go over the thing, but I don't like doing that. Because it feels less like real-world scenario. Step corner, what are you doing? The Emptiness Machine's a solid song. So, like, The Emptiness Machine feels a lot more like the earlier stuff that Linkin Park did that I was a big fan of. Not quite metal, but like really sort of pushing. It's like this rock metal hybrid. Exactly. That's also on my playlist. That's what I mean by like the rock metal hybrid that they sort of used to have. Boost through it? That's my problem. That's what I'm not doing. And then we watch it go up. And it comes back down. We meet again, we meet again. We're talking a lot about keyboards today. Happy 4 hours. Happy 3:15 a.m. How are you doing? But this is my current keyboard. It's the Ducky 13 TKL, which is hot swappable, RGB, small form factor. It's a plastic case, but it's solid enough. The wind has been terrible here too. Like, so bad. It was keeping my wife up last night. Personally, I sleep through a lot of things. But this is my current keyboard. It works well. It's small. I like the TKLs. I don't need number pads very much at home. Yeah, the 1.3 came out like a year ago, 2 years ago. Where's the news? Or maybe it's press releases. Yeah, so 2024 May talks about the 1.3 Pro, so it's been at least a year. So there's, during the days, I think it's just waiting for you. It's like, hey, they're going to bed. You know what would be fun? So a lot of that, there's a few different things that go into the acoustics with the keyboards. One is the case you're in. Two is the material of the case. Again, the case, the back plate. So the stuff that's usually on top of the keyboard or behind the keyboard, depending on how you do it. And then there's the switch itself. So different switches sound different. So some of them are clicky, some of them are linear, which a lot of keyboards are. A lot of keyboards, like the Cherry MX Reds, those are linears. The Browns, ooh woo, how you doing, Eric? The Browns are like halfway in between the clicky and the linears. They're quiet like the linears, but they give you the feedback when you press the keys, so there's this little bump